Wake up. You with me? I want to welcome you to Now Time with Glen. I want to thank you for giving me your undivided attention. Today we're going to be talking about anger. I'm going to be exposing myself a little bit about my past anger. And let me tell you, I've come a long way. You know, if people who know me today, if they knew me back in the day and compared me to who I used to be, there's no way they would never believe that they would never believe that I was who I was, and especially how I am now. And let me tell you, I was plagued with anger. I was so angry growing up as a child and even into my Marine Corps in my young life, and it affected everything. I'm talking about I broke people's legs, I broke noses, I fought, I was mean, I hurt a lot of people. Because I was so angry inside, all I could spew was venom. Everything that was in me was hate. Everything that was in me was anger. Everything that was in me was rage. So I didn't care who I hurt because I was hurt. And that's the key. Hurt people hurt people. And so I had to grow up. I had to learn some things, and some of that I'm going to be talking in this video today about anger and how to deal with anger, how to channel anger, and how anger is good in some instances and how it's bad. So let's just jump into it. Let's look at some positive things about anger. Anger makes you feel. Anger makes you feel alive. Anger lets you know that you care. Anger can be used as fuel to get you to do some things that you never ever would have done before. So these are positive things. These are some things that you can use in the future. These are things that you can use to your advantage. But here's some bad things about anger. Anger makes you look like a madman. If it's uncontrolled, if it's not released in the correct way, people will look at you a madman. No one will be real with you because you are crazy. You will be deemed as crazy. You will be deemed as somebody that can't communicate. You will be deemed as somebody that can't be trusted. You will be deemed as nobody's going to listen to you. And guess what? You lose in that. You can have everything that you're saying right. You can have every point right, but because you responded in anger, because you responded in a way that was just all out craziness, you totally lose your face, you totally lose your value. So that's why it's important that we use anger properly. That we use anger in the way that is going to be beneficial for us because we're angry for a reason. Most of the time, the reason that what you feel, what you think on the inside is right. What you feel, what you think on the inside is right to you. So how you feel and what you think needs to be heard. But if you say it in the wrong way, if you release it in the wrong way, not only do you lose the content of what you're saying, you then lose your audience, which then in the end, you lose. You just looked at as a raving maniac. So anger must be contained and released properly. That's what we're going to be talking about today. That is what we're going to be getting into because nothing is more dangerous than someone that is responding in rage. Nothing is more dangerous than that person that can't be controlled. So what is anger? Anger is a response. Let me say this again. Anger is a response to someone that has been hurt, someone that has been ridiculed. Anger is a response to, how do I want to say this? Anger is a response to hurt from the words or actions of someone or something. So that anger comes from hurt. It comes from pain. It comes from the words and actions that have been said to you or something that has been done to you that has hurt you, that has caused you pain. That is where the anger stems from. So the bottom line is that anger is a product of injury. There we go. That's what I say. Anger is a product of injury. So The key point in understanding this is when you're injured, nothing is going to get better until that injury is dealt with. If I broke your leg, or if I stuck something in your leg, it's going to be there. Nothing is going to feel better. Nothing is going to get better until that wound is dealt with. Nothing is going to get better until that leg is healed. There's going to be pain there. There's going to be issues there. And that's the problem. We walk around with so much hurt. We walk around with so much injury that has never been healed because it's never been dealt with. So pain, so anger is a response from that hurt. Anger is a product of that injury, and we need to address it. And in order for you to address it, in order for you to get better, it must be addressed. So here's the question though. If anger was seeded from hurt, which it is, if anger was seeded from hurt, wouldn't it be better to focus on the hurt versus the anger? I'm going to say that again. If anger was seeded from hurt, if anger is seeded from injury, what makes more sense? To focus on the injury or to focus on the anger? See, a lot of times we focus on the anger piece. We're releasing venom. We're going crazy. We're doing things that are wild. We're hurting everybody. We're all loud. We're fussing. We're doing things out of anger, but we're not focusing on the injury. And that's what's very important. That's the first thing that I want you to take from this video today. You need to focus on the hurt. You need to focus on the injury and not the anger. And not the anger, because anger begets anger. Hear me out. When you're upset, when you're mad, when you're pissed off, when things are going crazy, when you go to somebody with that, what is likely to happen? You go to them with anger, likely they are going to be angry. So anger begets anger, then everything blows up and nothing gets accomplished. I can't tell you how many relationships that I've been in that I just didn't understand this, that my anger caused more anger, or the anger of that person then caused me to get angry. And I'm not even angry. I'm only angry because you're responding to me in angry, or vice versa. They're only angry because I came to them in anger. Anger begets anger. And who wins in that? That's the question. Who wins in that? And I'm here to tell you nobody. Nobody wins when anger begets anger. Nobody. And the whole purpose of this anger, think about it. When you are acting out, when you are going crazy, when you are blowing up, the reason that you're blowing up is because you want change. You want something to happen. You want this injury to be healed. You want this thing to be dealt with. So when you respond in anger, you got to remember, most likely the only thing that you're going to get is anger. Because that is exactly what happens. Anger threatens. And when people feel threatened, what are they going to do? If I walk in here with a gun, and you see my gun out, or a knife, or with a stick, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're looking at the gun. You're like, listen, I'm threatened. And you're going to respond in kind. It doesn't even matter what I'm saying at that point, because I have to deal with the threat first. So you need to understand that anger begets anger. So when you have a problem, rather than responding in anger, respond to the injury. And rather than acting out in anger, let's talk about the injury that's happening. What would life be like if you responded in a way and said, listen, what you did hurt me, and here's why. 8 times out of 10, you're going to get a positive response. You'll probably get a response like, you know what? I didn't mean it like that. You know what? I am so sorry. If that's how you took it, if that's what it meant, I am so sorry. I apologize. Because most of the time, people are not walking around looking to hurt you. But because you took it a certain way, it caused a certain reaction inside of you. So a lot of times, if you just come and say, listen, you hurt me. I'm hurt, and I'm hurt because of this. I'm hurt because you did this. I'm hurt because you took it that way. And then you communicate that, you're going to get a better response back, which then fixes the problem, because the end result is what? The end result is that the problem is fixed. The end result is that you have a happy life. The end result is not to see the other person hurt. The end result, because you hurting that other person, still has not fixed the injury that has been caused to you. You're just causing injury to somebody else. So you need to first deal with that thing by saying, look, rather than responding in anger, take a second, maybe write it down, write it in a letter, whatever you have to do to make it to the point where you can easily say, hey, I'm hurt, and I'm hurt because of this. Let's talk about it. And then you will get a much better response. 8 times out of 10, you're going to get a much better response. And that when you respond like that, you are tending to the injury. When you respond like that, you are getting results. Your injury is able to heal. This is video 1. I'm going to be starting video 2 here in a second. Like this video, share it with a friend. We're going to be talking about how to channel anger in the next video, how to deal with it, how to deal with this anger, how to channel it, how to make it work for you. Listen, this is some good stuff. Take notes, like this video, share it. I also have a private Facebook group. I have a YouTube channel. Subscribe. Listen, I want to connect with you. I want to help you get the results that I've gotten in my life. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a great day.